You are Locked On Heat Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Miami on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What is up, Heat fans? Welcome to another episode of your Heat Postcast. My name is Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease, and what a big night in the MIAO, baby. The Miami Heat with a big win tonight, 125-119 in double overtime over the Orlando Magic. Yes, Tyler Hero balled out. Yes, Bam Adebayo played a big game. Yes, the Miami Heat, the comeback kids tonight, the cardio comeback kids, 14 points down a minute into the fourth quarter, 6 points down in the first overtime, down by 4 in the first overtime later as well, and they come back and they win it in double OT. And a big one for Miami tonight, huge. In fact, you know why? I'll tell you why right now. They had a chance, because of events that unfolded throughout the evening, to take where they were in the standings, 8th place coming into tonight, and move all the way up to number 6 in the Eastern Conference. They were able to get it done. They split the season series with Orlando 2-2, and they beat the Magic with that front line intact, with Banchero and Wagner both playing and healthy. All right, Heat Postcast right here on the Locked On Podcast. Team every day. Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease. Your Heat Postcast is brought to you by FanDuel. Super Bowl 59 is here, and there's no better way to make every play more exciting than with FanDuel Sportsbook. New customers can bet just $5, and if you win, you will score $200 in bonus bets. Download the app, head to FanDuel.com to get started. Again, this is your Heat Postcast. Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease, but day to day. Now, you know we're on after the games and the postcast. You don't want to be anywhere else right after the games except here. After the Heat games, after the Marlins games, season coming up, after the Dolphins, after the Canes. And don't forget, we have a Locked On Dolphins Roundtable show starting soon with yours truly as the host. Kyle Krabs will be there as well, the host of Locked On Dolphins and a former Dolphins player, maybe a couple others joining us as well. We got that coming up, and we do the postcast right here. Kyle does the Dolphins every day. Alex Dono does the Canes. The two guys west of Georgia do the Heat. And, of course, we got a new Marlins host coming on as well. So big stuff happening here at the network. But also have to remind you quickly before we get into the meat of the show that your favorite podcast now is a newsletter. Introducing the Locked On Heat newsletter. That is right, my friend. Straight to your inbox, you get Ultimate Team and League coverage delivered right to you. Sign up for free now at LockedOnDaily.com. That's LockedOnDaily.com. Start your day with the all-new free Locked On Heat newsletter. All right, what a win tonight for your Miami Heat. I got pages and pages of notes. It looked like it was going to be a tough one all the way through. They did not start the game real well tonight. I mean, 4th and final game between these two teams this season. The Magic had lost 5 in a row coming into tonight. You know, I'm just make sure my hair looks good for you guys tonight. By the way, smash that subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we have more content coming your way. And you can engage. Come on in and engage. I love the word engage, as long as I'm not getting engaged, because you know how that goes. But, hey, come on in. Let your feelings be known. Talk to me. Also, give me a follow. Make you holler at @JimGrease_GRIES. But how about Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner? Both guys scoring 24.5 points per game each. Banchero's back for the 9th game tonight, and Wagner back for just the 3rd game after missing 20. Banchero missed, 30-plus games? Remember, those two killed the Heat on opening night, but it's only, I think, their 9th time playing together this year. So a tough one for them. Terry Rozier averaging 19 a game against Orlando this season. Didn't really help them tonight. And, you know, it didn't help Miami that Kel'el Ware kept getting fouls called on him. I mean, he picked up his 2 early fouls, picked up his 3rd early in the second quarter. Bam Adebayo in foul trouble all night long for Miami as well. And so with Kel'el Ware in the first quarter getting in foul trouble. The Orlando Magic went on a big 15-2 run with Bam Adebayo in foul trouble in the third quarter. He leaves the game in a 1-point game, 6 minutes left in the third. He comes back in the fourth. It's an 11-point Orlando lead. But true to their nature, true to the Heat culture, true to everything that you love about this team, it's breakneck, it's hectic, it's crazy, it's turnovers, it's your Miami Heat. Yeah, they're turning the ball over. Yeah, Orlando's scoring a ton of points off those turnovers. Miami's shooting terribly from three throughout most of this game. Made up for it late. But man, do they get intense on defense. And man, do they fill passing lanes and cause a lot of loose balls and commotion down the stretch in the fourth quarter, in overtime, after they fell behind by 6 in the first OT. From that point on, it was tough for Orlando to get a good shot. The Heat cranked up the defensive intensity with Bam and Kel'el guarding the rim like literal, I mean, pick a guard dog, a Doberman Pinscher or a Rottweiler, whatever, a bunch of pit bulls attacking the Orlando Magic offensive players, not even waiting for them. One of my favorite quotes I've ever gotten from an elite athlete in an interview, UFC legend John Bones Jones, right? He said, hey, as the king, I don't wait for them to come into the castle to come get me. I go and get them on the battlefield. And that's what Bam and Ware were doing. They weren't waiting for the Magic to get to the rim. They were meeting them on the way there, sending shots back. Tyler Hero with a bunch of steals. Duncan Robinson playing some really good defense tonight as well. So the Heat able to get that dub because of so many things. The shooting came back down the stretch. Bam Adebayo, I've been screaming from the rooftops, Bam, please, where are you on offense? Bam had the elbow jumpers going tonight. Bam had the baseline jumpers going tonight. Bam had 10 points in the 2 OTs. Bam Adebayo, bam, bam, bam. Played himself into the star of the game conversation as well, which we'll bring to you later in the show, by the way. We got your stars of the game, got 2 of them tonight. Got your turning point, where the momentum switched in the game, and, of course, your final score graphic. Get you ready for the Cleveland Cavaliers, East #1 team. By the way, the Heat already have a win against them this season, but Miami will play them in a couple of nights, and we'll do all that. We'll look at the box score. We will look at the team stats as well, but what a night for the Miami Heat, snatching victory from what looked like the jaws of a defeat that you weren't going to, I mean, just one of those real bad tasting ones too, you know. And look, Miami was not good in the first half. Orlando went on a 29-9 run. Miami led it 20-10 in the first quarter. After that, it was a 29-9 run for Orlando. They were killing it from downtown. They were hitting 3 after 3 after 3, you know. But in the third quarter, interestingly enough, and you really were happy about this, Tyler Hero, 3 good hard takes in a row with an and one in there. Terry Rozier with a short jumper. Terry and Tyler sparking a run for Miami with their offense, with their defense, deflections with hands. And that was the one good stretch of the game for Terry Rozier. But, you know, Kel'el Ware picked up his 3rd foul with 3:58 left in the second quarter. Orlando goes on another run to end the half. And, you know, it did not go 5 more made threes for Orlando than Miami into halftime. And you looked at the game at the half and you're going, man, you know, this is not going Miami's way. It just was not. I mean, it's a 4-point deficit at halftime. They were down 2 at the end of the first quarter, but it was more like, look, you're shooting 28% from 3. Your opponent's shooting 56. You know, you don't have anybody really tearing it up. Tyler Hero's only 1 for 3 from 3-point land at that time. And you're like, okay, it's 59-55. Not the end of the world. We didn't play great. And we'll take this into the third quarter. Well, 6-minute mark of the third, it's a 1-point game. Bam's got 16 points and 6 assists. He picks up his 4th foul. Kel'el Ware's already in foul trouble. Had these guys not been in foul trouble tonight, the Heat would have torched Orlando. Would have been no need for overtime. And Tristan Da Silva playing the role like Gary Trent Jr. did a couple of games ago, killing them for deep. Milwaukee, remember, 7 threes for him. Well, Da Silva, the rookie, had a huge game from Colorado, had a huge game tonight. The Magic go on a 9-0 run to end the third quarter. Bam's on the bench. Ware picks up his 4th foul. It's 88-79 Orlando into the fourth quarter, and then they go on a 5-0 run to start the fourth. And then when Bam comes back in, it's a double-digit deficit when it was a 1-point game when he went out. So a big stretch for Miami. Kel'el Ware hits a 3, blocks a shot, cutting the lead. They eventually get it to 79-79. Couple of threes from Duncan back-to-back. They cut the lead to 103-97 in the fourth quarter, and they're really moving. They're playing good offense. They're stealing the ball. They're deflecting the ball. They're filling the passing lanes. The 5 that they had out there, which I thought was very interesting, when you're talking about Duncan Robinson with Tyler Hero, right, with Jovic, with Nikola Jovic. And remember, Jaquez Jr. is out right now. So you had Jovic, you had Duncan, you had Tyler, you had Bam, and you had Ware. And that was your 5. And that's an interesting 5 for Miami. You know, Kelly Ware with an 8-point fourth quarter. They tie it up 108 at the end of regulation. Miami with a 9-point advantage in the fourth quarter. We'll take it through the overtimes in just a moment. Remember, they fell behind by 6 in the first OT, but it was Tyler Hero late. It was another 30-point game for Tyler on a night when he was not shooting well from 3. He wants a spot on the All-Star team. Tonight he played like he deserves one. He had to get his points the old-fashioned way, driving the ball to the hoop. Had a couple of moves where you think the guy thought he was D-Wade. Tyler Hero with a big game tonight, and then Bam in the overtimes along with Killa Khalil. Bam and Khalil, signs of brilliance and dominance on a night when Jimmy Butler served the first game of his latest suspension indefinitely. It's his 3rd one. Just trade him already. Goodbye, good riddance. Peace out. Jimmy. All right, 125-119. The Heat beat the Magic. You are watching Heat Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. We go through the OTs, the box scores, the individual stats, the team stats when we come back. And then on the other side of that, even deeper, the stars of the game, the turning point, final score graphic, and more for you, your team, every day. Whether you're brand new, whether you're an everydayer, welcome to Heat Postcast. Jim Grieshaber, call me Gries on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And I get a chance to tell you about one of them. Oh, man, do I love this company. And I love the deals that we have for you. I love what we do for you as our customers, as our viewers, as our listeners, because we work with the most elite, with the best companies in the world, and we get you the best deals that they have to offer. That's what you get as part of being the best part of who we are and what we do right here on the Locked On Podcast Network. And I have to remind you, on behalf of FanDuel, that 59 is here. Super Bowl 59, 1 game, 2 teams, endless possibilities, and there is no better way to make every play more exciting than with FanDuel Sportsbook. Whether it's predicting the first touchdown, calling the MVP, or even betting on the coin toss, FanDuel makes it easy to get in on the action with live betting all game long. You can adjust your bets as the game unfolds and feel the thrill from kickoff to the final whistle. Live betting feature lets you stay involved no matter what happens on the field between the Eagles and the Chiefs, and the app is super easy to navigate. Plus, knowing that you can place a $5 bet, potentially win $200 in bonus bets for the Super Bowl, that's icing on the cake. So download the app, head on over to FanDuel.com to get started. Bet just $5, and if you win, you'll score $200 in bonus bets. That's FanDuel.com. Bet with FanDuel, official partner of Super Bowl 59. Eagles and Chiefs. Thank God it's not the Bills. I mean, come on, think about this, right? Think about this, Dolphin out there. Think about how great it is that Josh Allen got stopped on that 4th down. Think about how great it is that Mahomes and the Chiefs stuffed it to the Bills again. Think about how great it is that not only did these fools lose 4 Super Bowls in a row in the 90s, now they make another run. All these years later, they wait 30 years to be good again. They run Ken Dorsey, our quarterback from the U, out of town. They run Stephon Diggs out of town. Allen's the MVP, even though Lamar Jackson has better numbers. Miami kid, better numbers. And the Bills this, Bills that. And in crunch time, down 7 with the ball. They tie it up, but then the Chiefs get the field goal. And the Bills can't do it. They got the ball. They did it. They want to whine about the 4th down play hours earlier. It was 10 minutes earlier. But, yeah, they couldn't get it done with the ball late, and the Buffalo Bills go home crying again. That was an extra bit of that spot for FanDuel. But I'll tell you what, man, it's worth it because the Bills go home crying, and the Kansas City Chiefs are in the Super Bowl again against the Philadelphia Eagles. Think about that. But real quick, want to thank you for being the best part, you, all y'all, for being the best part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day, whether you're an everydayer, and you know this, man, we love you everydayers, or whether you're brand new, welcome. Our casa as su casa right here, and we have the Heat Postcast. I'm Jim Grieshaber, call me Gries, Gries, at Jim Gries _. Yes, I'm that same dude. You see me on the Marlins, you see me on the Canes, you see me on the Dolphins. I do all the postcasts on the network here in Miami, on Locked On Sports Miami on YouTube, and wherever you get your podcasts. We're free. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeart, Stitcher, Podbean, you name it, we're there with the show Also, we have Locked On Heat podcast, Locked On Dolphins podcast, Locked On Marlins, Locked On Hurricanes podcast as well. And each one of those has its own newsletter, which you can get in your inbox every single day, team and league coverage. So check that out as well right here on the Locked On Podcast Network. Those free newsletters are legit, man. Those free team newsletters at lockedondaily.com. You're going to want to check that out. And by the way, speaking of which, make sure you smash that subscribe button. Hit the bell so you get alerted when we have new shows coming your way. Like the new Dolphins Roundtable show I'll be hosting coming up 2 times a week, and like another show that I'll be hosting very soon. If you've been a fan of mine for a while, you know what sport I'm known for covering. ESPN, everywhere. I'll be bringing that here to the Locked On Podcast Network as well. But don't tell anybody. It's a you know what I mean? It's a surprise. All right, 125, 119, double OT, double up. I'm playing just Nipsey Hussle. You know what I'm saying? But no, Bam Adebayo really killed it in overtime in double OT. The Heat are down 6 in overtime after outscoring the Magic 29-20 in the fourth quarter to get to OT. And, you know, you got no Jimmy. You're a little thin. You know, Jaquez is out. Josh Richardson's out. Kevin Love's not playing. You know, right? So Alec Burks, so they're a little short-handed anyway, but they somehow managed to get the job done. Bam with a dunk and an and one to start the overtime, a 6-0 Miami run. You know what I mean? And look, Miami gets the ball with a chance to win it in overtime, unable to do it. They head to double OT, and Bam scores the first 2 hoops of double OT. In fact, he had 6 points in the second overtime, 10 in both overtimes combined, and then maybe the offensive rebound of the game with a back tap to Tyler, who, even though he was 3 of 14 from downtown tonight, still had 30 points, and right straight away drills the triple. Pretty much right there, 123-119. It's a 4-point game. Then they get the defensive stop. Bam puts it away with a 12-footer from the left baseline, 125-119. That was all she wrote for your Miami Heat. They win the game. They go to 22-21, but more importantly than that, mucho importante, muy importante, your Miami Heat are number 6 now in the NBA's Eastern Conference, and they started the night in 8th place. And, just in case you're wondering, 6 is out of the play-in. All right, so Jimmy Butler, real quick, got 2.5 minutes before the end of the segment. Jimmy Butler gets 2.5 minutes of my time. We'll call it GRIES' piece right here on Heat Postcast, and this is the best take you're going to hear on Jimmy Butler. You know what I say about Jimmy Butler? Screw him. Screw him. That's what I say about Jimmy Butler. Let him stay home. Let him take his ball and go home. They told him he's not going to start. He's going to come off the bench. Look, the guy's been disruptive all year long. He's been disrupting this team. He's been a distraction. He's been suspended 7 games. He's been suspended 2 more games. And then he comes back again, and he finds out he's going to be coming off the bench. What does he do? He takes his ball and goes home. What does he do? He leaves practice. What does he do? He forces their hand. They suspend him again, this time indefinitely. So Jimmy Butler, the ultimate team player since he got to Miami, the ultimate ambassador of Heat culture, he now has done some things that you can't come back from with a franchise. And here is what I'm about to tell you, and here's why I say screw him. See ya. I wouldn't even trade him at this point. You know what? I might let him do, and we've seen the precedent before, like the Clippers just did with Paul George. They let him go for nothing. Rather than handcuff their team anymore with what they had with he and Kawhi, rather than try to find the perfect trade to try to placate a whiny superstar and not even a superstar anymore. Sound familiar, Jimmy Butler? Because you're not a superstar anymore, neither was Paul George. Let him go. Sit him the rest of the year. Suspend his ass. Don't play him another game. They're fine without him. He's disrespected the game. He's disrespected the franchise. But more important than that, in this scenario, he is looking Pat Riley eye to eye with his middle finger in Riley's face. Same with Spoelstra, and the same with Bam Adebayo, the captain of this team. Jimmy Butler has flexed on him. Bam has no authority over him. Spo has no authority over him. Riley is the ultimate authority saying, hey, you're out of here. Suspend him the rest of the year. Don't even let him play. Make him sit the rest of the year. Make him come off the bench, play him 2 minutes a game, whatever you can do, man. You're better off without him, but don't give in to him. Don't send him where he wants to play. Don't let him go try to chase a ring somewhere. Sit the hell out and shut the hell up. We don't need you. I was on Jimmy's side a little bit in the beginning, but the lines that he's crossed now, the things that he said, walking out of practice. Look, Jimmy's got a player option for next year. He'll be gone no matter what. He wants the 2-year extension on top of that, which would be about a 3-year deal at that point. Heat aren't giving it to him. He's not doing himself any favors around the league. He's getting ripped by Stephen A. on First Take. So many former players have come out and spoken up against Jimmy Butler. Shaq's been on his side, but remember, Shaq and Pat Riley didn't get along at all toward the end of Big Diesel's tenure in Miami, and he didn't want to work either. Look, Jimmy Butler has destroyed this team this year. He's literally stripped Bam of his authority as captain, Spo as the coach, and now forced Riley to do all this. So let him go. Let him sit. Don't play him again this year. Suspend him. The hell with him. Don't placate him. Don't trade him where he wants to go. Sit him the rest of the year and let him walk at the end of the year and let whoever wants him have him. Let him sit the rest of the year at 35. That's what he deserves right now, is to lose a precious year that he has left at 35 years old in the NBA for being a giant baby and making $48 million a year and not playing and trying to destroy his team's season to the point where they trade him. Sit him the hell down. Send him the hell home. Goodbye, Jimmy Butler. And I love Jimmy Butler before all this, but enough's enough. No team should trade for him. Who the hell wants Bradley Beal anyway? I'm glad that Riley's sticking to his guns. I'm glad he's telling Jimmy Butler, you're not holding the cards here. You're not dictating the terms here. We are. He's not even saying I am, Pat Riley. He's saying we are. Every player learns this, from LeBron to Shaq, Dwayne Wade, unfortunately, the way that he did, right on down. Every player has learned, all the way back to Glenn Rice in the early days. There's no player bigger than the Heat and their culture. All right? And there was no Heat culture when Glenn Rice was here. So what am I saying? Anyway, but that was a nice culture, a nice historical reference there, back to the days of old G Money, who let me drive his Porsche one night when I was working as a server at the Tourist Steakhouse in Coconut Grove. Jeff Wechsler, his agent, used to come in for dinner every night. This is Heat Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Sit him, suspend him, sit him for the year, and let him go for nothing at the end of the year. You're not getting anything worthwhile back anyway. Let him sit. Send a message to any player, whoever comes to Miami, and it's about time that the Heat stand up for the rest of the league and the rest of these teams that are gutless and spineless. Sit them, suspend them, let them walk at the end of the year. Just make them waste the rest of this year at 35. That's the best thing you could do to Jimmy Butler right now. When we wrap it up right here on the other side, we are going to talk to you about tonight and the stars of the game. How the Heat were able to come back from such a big deficit, 14 down with 11 minutes left in this game. Who were the reasons why? The biggest ones, a big night for Kel'el Ware. Was it enough to be one of the stars of the game on a night when Tyler and Bam both shined? Bam Adebayo must have been listening to me. He was aggressive offensively. It paid off big time, even on a night when he was in foul trouble. This is Heat Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease, wrapping it up. Un momento, por favor, with the stars of the game, the turning point, final score graphic, and a look ahead to the Cleveland game. Right here, Heat Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. Free, your team every day. All right, wrapping it up. Heat Postcast 125-119. Victory over the Orlando Magic at home, and a big one at that, as they were down 14 points with 11 minutes left in this game, and they went berserk, like Eminem said in the song. That's what they did. They went nuts in the fourth quarter tonight, and a big one for Tyler Hero, 30 points, a season-high 12 assists, 8 rebounds on a night when he was 3 of 14 from downtown. So real quick, let's hit these team stats as I attempt to do Mission Impossible. You ever do that? Mission Impossible. See that? The music actually matches, believe it or not, right? I feel like Tom Cruise. I certainly don't look like Tom Cruise. I mean, if you shave Tom Cruise's head, I don't know about that. I mean, he's a little older than me. Tom Cruise, you know what I'm saying? But we are attempting Mission Impossible, which is getting these overlays. There we go. Getting these overlays to upload in StreamYard while we're on the show. We know that the technology is great, and we know that we love it, and we know that, hey, the easier things get, the better they get. Come on, we'll do it one at a time. 1.png uploading. Shh, come on, StreamYard. Hey, we got one. It's a delicate process. This is sensitive material. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease, Gries, at Jim Grease _ on social media. Give me follow, make you holla. We're 1 for 3 on the uploads in StreamYard. Come on, StreamYard. Maybe if they hear me, they'll clear up the clogged. I feel like I need Dr. Richard Kimball, the best heart surgeon in the world, the fugitive, to come in here and clear up the ventricles so these things will upload. Come on, StreamYard, help me out here. Every night we go through this, and this is not fun. No bueno. Come on, baby. Come on. All right, we're going to get 2 of the 4. We got 2 of the 4. We're halfway there. All right, we're halfway there, living on a prayer. Oh, we got 2 of them. Take my hand, we'll make it, I swear. Come on, StreamYard, let's go there. All right, so let's see if we missed anything here in the recap. Tyler, 30 points. Bam, 26. Miami erases a 14-point fourth quarter deficit. Bam, 10 rebounds, 9 assists, just missed a triple-double. Tyler, 12 and 8 assists and rebounds. Khalil Ware, 19 points, 10 rebounds for Miami, had 5 steals as well. Jimmy Butler suspended yet again. Franz Wagner, 29 points for Orlando, 17 from Paolo Banchero and Tristan da Silva, the rookie. And they split the season series 2-2. Miami's either won or split the series 27 times in 36 seasons that they played the Orlando Magic. The last time Miami trailed by 14 or more in the fourth quarter and won a regular season game was in 2022 at Charlotte. They start a 5-game West Coast swing in Portland on Thursday, do the Magic, and the Heat host Cleveland on Wednesday. All right, on the box score. We got to get these last 2 to upload. Come on, StreamYard. I have faith in you. I have faith. Come on. One more. Oh, you're not helping me at all. Come on, StreamYard. I'm going to keep saying StreamYard over and over again until it actually works. We need StreamYard to work. All right, for Orlando, 29 for Wagner to go along with 8 rebounds for the Heat. I've already said it. Tyler, 30, 12, and 8. Bam, 26, 10, and 9. Khalil Ware, 19 and 10. 15 points on 3 of 8 from 3 for Duncan Robinson. He had 7 points in the first quarter and 8 points in the fourth quarter. No points in either the second or the third. And, of course, in the fourth quarter, I'm also counting overtime and double OT in that, but I shouldn't. I should have made that separate, but I didn't add those up. Okay, Jovic with 15 and 7. Another good game for him off the bench, and 11 points for Terry Rozier in a Terry Rozier sighting. Come on, StreamYard. We know you can do this. I have 2 more of these overlays to upload. One of them I've tried 6 times. The other one I've tried 5 times. And I believe I can fly. I think I got the 3rd one to go. But I'm doing this. I want to remind you to smash that subscribe and the like buttons. And then engage with us. Come on in here. Hit the bell as well. And we're looking at the team stats, and we got 3 of them up on the overlays. We just need one more. 45.9% shooting for Orlando, 52.2% for Miami. The three-pointers evened up down the stretch as the Magic had really been shooting well from beyond the arc, and Miami hadn't been whatsoever. But that flip-flop in the fourth and in overtime, so they both finished right around 36%. The free throws about even, and the Heat did not shoot well from the line tonight at all. Assists about even. Turnovers about even. Fast break points, the Magic had 8 more. Miami had 4 more points in the paint. So really nothing on the stat sheet that tells you the tale of this game. And really you can't measure heart, in a way is what it comes down to. But Miami outscoring Orlando in the second overtime by 6, obviously 17-11 in the 2 overtimes combined. But, when you count overtime and the fourth quarter, Miami outscored Orlando by 15, and that was your real point of this game. Tyler Hero with 30, Bam with 26, big night for each of those guys, and they need to have them with no Jimmy Butler, of course, a big part of the reason why they won this game. And we are about to get out of here. All right, here we go with the finishing touches. First things first, I Grease. Show you the final score. How about this? 125-119. I hope this StreamYard thing is not covering your view like it's covering mine. I can't see the bottom part. It says viewer comment show up here. I think only I can see that, and I don't know how to get it down. But anyway, there's your final score, and there's Tyler in traffic. I told you, trying to get his D-weight on tonight. Acrobatic, taking contact, spinning, flying. Tyler, the whirling dervish in the lane tonight, 125-119. The moment... I can't even read it because they have this thing over it on StreamYard. Come on. What? It's literally covering it. I wish I could take a picture of it with my phone and show you, but it had something to do with Bam Adebayo scoring 10 points in overtime, in the 2 overtimes, and then the Heat outscoring them 29-20 in the fourth quarter and by 6 in the 2 overtimes. All right, and then the star number 1 of the game is Bam Adebayo. 26 points tonight, just missed a triple-double with 10 and 9 rebounds and assists. Really took over in the 2 OTs with 10 points. In the third quarter, he left the game in foul trouble, a 1-point game with 6 minutes left in the third. Came back with 4 minutes left in the game. The Heat were down double digits. From there, they outscored Orlando by 15. So, yeah, I'd say Bam Adebayo deserves to be one of the stars of the game. And the other star of the game is the guy who kept them going throughout the night, even without the 3-ball falling. It was free falling, to tell you the truth. But Tyler Hero paid it no mind. He did what star players do. He did what elite scorers do. When the 3-ball's not falling, and he went 3 for 14 from beyond the arc tonight, when the 3-ball's not falling, Tyler took the ball to the hoop. Tyler, the creator, emerged as well, getting Bam involved, getting Kelly Ware involved, throwing lobs, hitting dunking off curls, and getting dunking easy shots, and then as scoring the ball, lefty layups, righty layups, spinning, flying, Dwayne Wade style, whatever it took, floaters, runners, hooks. Tyler Hero putting the ball in the hoop tonight like the elite scorer that he is. And then in the end, he hit the dagger 3 that put it away, 123-119. Bam put the finishing touch with the baseline J. And the Heat went a game above 500. They've won 2 in a row. They take on Cleveland in a couple of nights. We'll be here right after that game with your Heat postcast. And yeah, a big 6-point win. So much uncertainty, so much crap caused by Jimmy Butler. Bam Adebayo, I think, finally realizing offensively he really needs to step up, get more attempts, own those elbow jumpers, own those baseline jumpers, hit a couple threes. Kelly Ware, the consistency is becoming evident with him from a nobody, really. Not, and I don't mean that disrespectfully. I mean nobody talking about him to a guy who's nearing the top of every Rookie of the Year conversation right now. Killel with a great job again tonight. We got the pink and blue behind us because, look, they wore their Miami Vice uniforms tonight, and it paid off. 125, 119, 22, and 21 now for Miami. They tied the season series with Orlando. And most importantly, the last thing I want to remind you of before we let you go tonight is your Miami Heat went from 8th place to 6th place in the Eastern Conference standing with this win tonight, beating Orlando, who was in 7th place coming in on a loss by Detroit. The Pistons were in 6th, and now the Heat sit at number 6 with Cleveland, the number 1 team in the East, coming in a couple of nights. That's all there is, Heat fans. There is no more. 125-119 over the Orlando Magic in double overtime. Tyler and Bam carrying the Heat to victory tonight. Jimmy Butler suspended indefinitely for walking out of practice earlier today, but the Heat with the 6-point win nonetheless. We'll be here right after the Cleveland game in a couple of nights with the postcast. Until then, Heat fan, keep your game tight and your mind right, baby. 6-point win for your Miami Heat on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. We'll see you in a couple days. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease, G-R-I-E.